want to come back and talk about transportation. We're going to start with you, Representative Torkelson, see what you're thinking about that. But before we get there, we did have one of these very specific questions that I should ask Senator Bach about. Lori from Minneapolis wants to know if you're going to run for governor.
You know, I think most Minnesotans probably have election fatigue. You know, we've got an election back in November we can't seem to shake off. If you watch Fox News or CNN every night, it still feels like people are on the campaign trail. I think most people think campaigns are too long, and I'm going to take some time to think about that. I have not ruled that out. I do think it's not going to be easy to get a third term for the Democratic Party. Third terms are generally a little hard to get in politics these days, and that's actually the history also. So I do think for Democrats to be successful, it's going to take a different kind of candidate. And as we kind of start to talk that through, I think maybe having a rural presence might be helpful. So I think maybe this time next year I'll probably have an affirmative answer for you either way, but I think nobody would be too excited about the idea of kicking off another campaign when we really haven't even got rid of the last one.
Well, we do have a little time, so you could work on that. So we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about transportation a little bit. Representative Torkelson, where's that transportation bill going? What do you think we're going to see in it? I know we don't normally answer specific questions, but since I drive this road, I'm going to ask the question. Viewer from Norwood wants to know when that 212 4 lane is going to get done between Norwood and Chaska and get going on that. So.
Well, I can't talk about that because I have to talk about Highway 14.
Well, there you go. I grew up in Mankato, so I know about that one, too.
Or I could talk about a number of other individual projects around the state. Everybody has a favorite road that they believe needs to be upgraded, and many of them do. I've been saying since I got this job as transportation chair that it's my goal to pass a substantial transportation bill this year. I think it would be a big mistake to push it into the second year of the biennium. That just gets us too close to that governor's race that we were talking about a moment ago.
And other races.
And other races. So I think we need to get something done this year. The good news really is that there's lots of folks around the Capitol that seem to be committed to getting a transportation bill. And I'm very happy to see these coalitions being built and people supporting the idea of a good-sized transportation bill this year, ranging all the way from labor to the chamber and all points in between. If I can keep that energy moving forward, I think we will get a bill. I'm not sure at this point exactly what it looks like. One of the very interesting things going on kind of in the background is with transit. You know, the CTIB, which is a County Transportation Improvement Board, that's a 5-county metro area that works with transit, is thinking about breaking up. Now, you might think that'd be bad, but the fact is if they break up, they can generate more revenue for transit here in the metro, which kind of takes that off the plate, at least to a degree, which could help us get back to roads and bridges, and that's what I'm interested in, and I think most Minnesotans are interested in all across the state. Beyond that, the specifics are not quite in focus yet, but I'm working on it every day, and in fact, I'll be in the office early tomorrow morning meeting with my staff to start outlining the pieces we think need to be in a transportation bill this year.
Senator Pratt?
Well, it's, you know, as a suburban legislator, we don't, you know, we're one of the fastest growing counties. We didn't join CTIB. In fact, our county passed a half-cent sales tax that's available to every county that's not in the CTIB. And we're using that to not only do improvements along some of our major roads, but our county road system that feeds those major roads. And in fact, in my district, I have 169. And Highway 169 carries half the agricultural product generated in the state at some point in time, and is one of the main thoroughfares to the ports of Savage that I mentioned earlier, and almost 400,000 jobs along that corridor. So that's Senator Torkelson, or Representative Torkelson. You'll get that note tomorrow before you meet with your staff, but. I hear the same thing. We need to fix our roads and bridges. We need to increase the capacity as we continue to grow. Transit alone is not going to solve the problem. But then again, we can't say that transit isn't at least part of the answer.
Senator Bach, I don't have much time left, about 30 seconds quickly, transit.
You know, as leader of the Senate, I passed the comprehensive transportation bill in 2013, and I couldn't get a Democratic House to agree. In 2015, I passed a comprehensive transportation bill in the Senate, and I couldn't get a Republican House to agree. So I look forward to the proposals that come out of a Republican House and a Republican Senate, and maybe they can find a path. But it is a disappointment. I think most Minnesotans are disappointed that we can't get to the repairs needed in our aging transportation infrastructure.
About 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing about that disappointment for a really long time, so I'm interested in being part of a group of legislators that changes that disappointment and sees through that a transportation bill gets passed.
On that positive note, we're going to end the program for this week. I want to